If you have ever wanted a real shortcut into authentic Portuguese conversation, then you are in the right place. We are about to dive into the single, most common, most useful type of verb in the entire language. Seriously, if you can get this one simple pattern down, it's like having a master key that unlocks thousands of verbs.
So take a look at these two sentences. What do el moro and eles jogam have in common? I mean, one means I live, the other means they play. On the surface, they look pretty different, right? But believe it or not, they are built on the exact same foundation. And by the end of this, you're going to see this simple secret that connects them and thousands of other verbs too.
Well, both of those verbs belong to the same gigantic family, verbs that end in R. This is, without a doubt, the biggest group of verbs in Portuguese. Part of the reason for that is it's kind of the default category for any new words that come into the language. Even a modern verb like to Google becomes googlar. It falls right into this group. And the absolute best part? They almost all follow one incredibly simple, predictable pattern. You learn it once, and you can use it just about everywhere. And we're not talking about some obscure words you'll never use. Nope. We are talking about the absolute essentials of everyday conversation. I mean, look at these. Falar, to speak. Morar, to live. Comprar, to buy. These are literally the building blocks for talking about your life, what you do, and where you're going.
Okay, you ready for the secret, the trick behind it all? Let's break down this simple, beautiful system that powers all these verbs. This is the core pattern. It's pretty much the only one you really need to know to get started.
So let's use the verb falar, to speak, as our guide here. Now what we're doing is called conjugation, which sounds complicated, but it just means changing the verb to match who's doing the action. The cool part is, notice how the beginning of the verb, the stem, fal, it never ever changes. The only thing that changes is the ending. So you get eu falo, tu falos, ele fala, nós falemos, and eles falam. Are you seeing that pattern emerge?
And here it is. This is the big aha moment. For any regular AR verb, you just do two things. You chop off the AR at the end, and you plug in a new ending. For I, it's always O. For you, it's AS. For he or she, it's A. For we, amos. And for they, That's it. That is the entire system. Pretty great, right?
Okay, so you've got the tool, you have the formula. Now let's talk about the three main situations where you're actually going to use it in a real conversation. This is how you take that pattern and start building real sentences.
First up, you're going to use this for habits and routines. You know, anything that happens on the regular, every day, every week, whatever. Think about your daily life. For instance, o Sr. Ramos compra o jornal todos os dias. Mr. Ramos buys the newspaper every day. It's a routine, so boom, we use the present tense.
Next, you'll use it for just stating facts or general truths. These are things that are just true. They describe a permanent state of being or an ability someone has. For example, Ana fala English muito bem. Ana speaks English very well. That's a fact about her. Or something simple like, as crianças gostam muito de chocolate. Children like chocolate a lot.
And this one is a really cool and super useful one. In Portuguese, you can often use this simple present tense to talk about stuff that's happening in the near future. It's a common conversational shortcut. So you can say, telefone-te amanhã, which literally translates to, I telephone you tomorrow, but everybody understands it means I will call you tomorrow. How easy is that?
All right, enough theory. Let's see this pattern out in the wild. We're going to do a quick rapid-fire round with a few real sentences just to show you how reliable and consistent this whole thing is.
First one up. Normally, we stay home at night. The subject is nós, which is we, and the verb is ficamos. See? It's a perfect match for our pattern.
Okay, next. My son wears glasses. Now, my son is the same as he, right? So the verb usar becomes usa, another perfect match.
And how about this one? They play football every Sunday. The subject is eles, they, so the verb is jogam. The pattern holds up again, perfectly. You see how dependable this is? And check this out. The pattern even works perfectly in negative senses. I don't work on weekends. The subject is eu, I, so the verb is trabalho. The little não, for not, doesn't change that verb ending at all.
So you want to add a little more detail, a little more flavor to your sentences? It's easy. Just drop in one of these frequency words. They just tell you how often something happens. For instance, you could start with eu almoço em casa, I have lunch at home, and then just add raramente to say, eu raramente almoço em casa. It's a really simple way to sound a lot more fluent.
Okay, we've covered a fair bit, but if you only remember one single thing from all of this, please make it this next part. We're going to boil it all down to the single most important, most powerful takeaway.
So here it is, the one thing you need, your master key. To handle almost any regular R verb, you just drop the R and you add one of these 5 endings. O, as, a, amos, or Just memorize this one simple formula and you've literally just learned how to use thousands of Portuguese verbs.
Look, this isn't really just about grammar, is it? It's about connecting with people. And you now have the master key to a huge, huge part of the Portuguese language. So, the only real question left is, which door are you going to open first? What's the first thing you're going to say?